Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol magazine video. As per usual though, with all of these videos, if you like this type of stuff, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, drop me a comment down below. I love hearing about from you guys, it goes a massive way to helping out the channel too. Now, if you are unaware of the more recent news regarding Warhammer magazines, you may have not seen that Warhammer 40k is getting a new magazine in the shape of Combat Patrol. Now, this magazine is going into good old trial period at the moment, so it will go around for the first 4 to 5 issues in select locations around the UK. Hashit Partworks then take this data, look at it, and see if it is worth expanding it and going forward. So, we will see what the future holds with this one. However, obviously, they have revealed the current selection of minis that you will get. There may be some changes at some point, but who knows? But we get a lot of really good stuff out of it, in all honesty. So if you are a Warhammer collector, painter, or player, this may be up your alley. So why not? So, first off, obviously, Warhammer Combat Patrol is all about combat patrols. Instead of giving us just, say, 2 factions like Space Marines and Tyranids, which are your current starter box kits, we're actually going to get 9 different factions, and we don't get everything that the starter box had, which is pretty good in my opinion, and it gives us a nice balance and a bit of something else, because in all honesty, having just the couple of factions is a little bit dull. So, if you were to buy this magazine, you would be spending £799.20 on the entire collection. Now, obviously, that is quite a lot of money. However, if you were to buy all 9 of the Combat Patrol boxes, plus the extra minis that you get with this magazine, you would be spending £1,142.50 if you were to buy them directly from Games Workshop. If you were to buy them from a third-party retailer that does it at 20% off, you are still spending £800. So the magazine is giving you a saving of roughly 30%. So £343-ish saving overall, before you add in any paints, brushes, mats, play guides, core rules, stories and such like. So this is actually a lot of bang for your buck and gives you a good way into playing Warhammer 40k with smaller little armies. Happy days. So first off, we're going to go through all of the different minis you're going to be able to get for each faction, and there are 9 factions, so really good stuff. So first off, we're going to start off with Space Marines, obviously the poster boys of the 41st millennium. For this, obviously, you get the Combat Patrol box for the Space Marines. You also get the Primaris Chaplain on bike. So the Combat Patrol box breaks down like this. So you get a Terminator Captain, which is the Leviathan edition. So you get the new one with the Tyranid debris on the floor in front of it, like he's standing on his head and some guts nearby. You get a Terminator Librarian, which is the cool one, which I honestly do quite like. It's quite fun. You get 5 Terminators, you get 5 Infernus Marines, and then we get the Primaris Chaplain on bike. We will also get, as the exclusive mini for this magazine, the good old Infernus Marine Sergeant mini, which is exclusive to this magazine. So you will not be able to get this elsewhere apart from buying it on eBay for stupid prices. Then we move on, we have the Astra Militarum. So the Astra Militarum, you do get a lot of minis for your cash here. So rounding it all off, we get Arcadian Command Squad. You get a Sentinel, 2 Field Ordnance Batteries, 20 Cadian Shock Troops, and then the Commissar on top, which is pretty decent in all honesty. That's quite a lot of minis for your cash, and obviously these guys are your generic humans for the 41st millennium, so no super soldier enhancements or anything like that, just pure human military might, which is pretty cool, and they are genuinely interesting as well. So if you were to go Astra Militarum, this is the box for you and the issues for you. Then we have our Chaos Forces. So we have Chaos Space Marines to start off with. So we get a Dark Apostle with his 2 lackeys. We get 10 Chaos Space Marines. We get 5 Havocs, a Hellbrute, and a Master of Possession, which is pretty decent. So the Master of Possession is a pretty cool looking mini. The Dark Apostle, in all honesty, is one of the minis I've wanted to buy just to paint for a long time. And the Chaos Marines are pretty cool. They are just Chaos versions of normal Space Marines, though. So yeah, it is what it is. But not too bad. It's pretty cool. Then we move on. We have our second Chaos faction. We have World Eaters. So with the World Eaters, we get our Chaos Lord on Juggernaut, or you can make it into Lord Invoctus, or whatever it's called. You get 20 Khorne Berserkers, which are, pretty cool. We get 10 Jackals, and then you also get a Mauler Fiend or Forge Fiend, whichever one you want to make it into. So you get a pretty decent amount of kit. So the Forge Fiend or good old the other Fiend, whichever one you want to make it into, the Mauler Fiend is obviously a big power weapon kind of thing, which is demonic and possessed and stuff like that. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I do like the amount of minis that you get for World Eaters. It's pretty damn good. Obviously, Jackals are a little bit boring. Berserkers are not too bad. And obviously you got your Lord on Juggernaut, which is a pretty cool mini, in all honesty. Then we move on. We have our Tyranids, the big bad of the current edition of Warhammer 40k. So, these guys, we get a Tyranid Prime. We get a Psychophage, we get 3 Von Ryan's Leapers, 5 Barb Gaunts, 20 Termagants with the 2 Ripper Swarms, and we also get a Parasite of Mortrex as well, which is a pretty big winged beastie bugger, and it's generally quite cool. I find this really good. It's a decent amount of kit, and I would actually be looking forward to getting these guys because they're just different. Something different, something very alien-y to paint up, and very less humanoid, which is always very nice. Then, one of my favourites is the Leagues of Votann. So, we get a Leagues of Votann Combat Patrol box. So, we get Utar the Destined, or you can make him into a Carl, depending on which way you want to go, and which head you want to use, and stuff like that. We get 3 Hernkin Pioneers, which are your chappies on the kind of like hover bikes. We get 5 Chthonian Berserks, which are the bare-chested fellas holding big massive axes. We get 10 Hearthkin Pioneers, and then we also get 5 Einir Hearthguard as well. So, really cool stuff. I am a fan of the Leagues of Votann. They're one of the 2 armies that I do really like from Warhammer 40k, alongside the Sisters of Battle. We got all Adeptus Sororitas, the Sisters of Battle. Yeah, really cool stuff. I genuinely like it. Then, if you're into a big WoW and stuff like that, then obviously you have your Orks. So, for the Orks, we get a Death Dread, we get a War Boss in Mega Armor, we get 3 Death Copters, and 20 Boys, and then to accompany them, you get a Boomdakka Snazwagon, which is pretty cool. So, I genuinely like 40k Orks, they look fun. However, I prefer the vehicles over the regular foot troops. So, I like the Death Dread, it's not too bad. I like the Death Copters, they're really cool. But I really like that Boomdakka Snazwagon because it's pretty damn ace. Now, if you wanted to do a Mad Max theme army, Orks are the way to go because, yeah, they're nuts. You can have vehicles for days with these guys and, yeah, have a bit of fun with it. So really good stuff, and it's definitely worth having a nosy into because, yeah, they're bonkers. And then we move on, we have our good old space elves, the Eldari. So for the Eldari, we get a Farseer, we get a Wraith Lord, we get 6 Wind Riders, and then we get 10 Guardian Defenders or Storm Guardians, whichever one you want to make them into, plus the heavy weapons platform. We also get an Autarch as well. So it's not a bad set. I personally, the one that I like out of all of that is the Wraith Lord. I think the Wraith Lord is the best mini of the good old Eldari, and it stands out. It's a big, massive walking thing carrying a sword, which is pretty cool in my opinion. And yeah, just makes it stand out. So it's a standout army for that case. And then finally we have our Genestealer Cults. So rounding off the 9 factions. So for our Genestealer Cults, we get a Magus, we get a Goliath Rock Grinder, or you can make it into the Rock Truck, 5 Aberrants, 5 Acolyte Hybrids, 20 Neophyte Hybrids, and then 5 Atalan Jackals. So the Atalan Jackals are obviously the chappies you can see on screen that have the bikes and the ATV. Yeah, Genestealer Cults are pretty cool. I do quite like them, and yeah, you do get a lot of money, a lot of minis for your money with these guys. And obviously you get that Rock Grinder, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, some really, really good stuff there. I genuinely am impressed with the whole range. The whole range does kind of come in and save you a lot of money, but obviously you do have the option, if you are subscribed directly through Hashit Partworks to the magazine, you do have the option for premium kits. So premium kits give you some extra minis. So there are 4 premium kits spread out across the 80 issues. So 1 for every 20. And with this you get minis for every faction, kind of. So you get 8 factions worth of minis, but 1 can double up for 2 different factions. So first off, premium kit 1, we get a Hive Tyrant and a Brutalis Dreadnought. Really, really good stuff for your Tyranids and your Space Marines. They are pretty damn cool. Premium kit 2, you get a Demon Prince and you get Howling Banshees. So if you wanted for your Demon Prince, you could utilise it with the World Eaters, or you can utilise it with your Chaos Space Marines. Entirely up to you which way you want to go about doing it, but you can double up for both armies. So pretty cool stuff there. Premium kit 3, you get 3 Brukir Thunderkin for the Leagues of Votann, and then you get 3 Killer Cans for the Orks, which the Killer Cans are quite funny. I genuinely I'm always entertained by the Killer Cans. They're quite funny to look at. And then premium kit 4, you get a Brood Coven for the Genestealer Cults, and you get the Rogel Dawn Battle Tank for the Astra Militarum. Now, my personal takeaway with this is the Rogel Dawn Battle Tank and the Hive Tyrant are the best 2 minis out of them premium kits, because they're ace. They're really, really good. So you do save quite a bit of money if you are going to get the premium kit. Still, you are saving a fair whack of money overall, because of the amount that you're getting. Obviously, £2 spread out over 20 issues is £40, and each set that you're getting, so for instance, for Hive Tyrant and Brutalis Dreadnought, are close to £40 each anyway, so you are getting kind of 1 for free in a roundabout nutty way of looking at it. For Rogel Dawn Battle Tank is worth a decent amount of money, so you're getting a decent amount of money out of it really, and you get some really, really cool kits, which is always fantastic. So overall, pretty good stuff. If you decide to subscribe directly to this magazine, you do have to be aware there are some slightly hidden charges that they don't like to tell you about. You will pay delivery fees. You will pay for binders, which at £10 a pop is not cheap, considering you can go to your local WH Smiths and buy 3 large lever arch ring binders for like a tenner, and they're generally sometimes better quality, in all honesty. So you do get some pretty decent stuff out of it. You will get some extra bonuses, so if you subscribe directly, you do get some bits and freebies and stuff like that. over time. You also get access to some of the other bits and pieces that they may release, so whether it's novellas or some extra bonus kits, entirely up to you. But, you know, some pretty good stuff. So, happy days. But, you know, that is it from me. Let me know if you're going to be getting this magazine, if it becomes to full release anyway. But obviously there are some things that may change if it does come to full release. We will have a look and we'll see. But for now, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.